Hey guys, welcome back. So, today we're going to be talking about a relatively simple topic that could easily be a quality of life improvement to your hunting if you already don't do so. So, today we're going to be talking about how to take advantage or use simple monster movement to your advantage. Now, there's different levels of this, so today we're going to cover the kind of bottom basic level of it, and then maybe in a part 2 or some kind of subsequent video, I'll talk about different ways to use it. But today we're just going to look at how to use simple monster movements such as them turning around to your advantage. So, there are defensive and offensive aspects to predicting a monster's movement and using it against it. Offensively, we can use it to get good reads on the monsters, snipe its head with a level 3 greatsword charge, hammer, or even hunter arts in this game. And defensively, we can use it to maybe use an item, heal, activate something, and kind of using both of these in synergy together as often as you can. You'll notice there's a quality improvement on your hunting because not only will you be putting out more damage, you'll also be keeping yourself alive more efficiently. So, and this is a pretty simple topic to pick up, so you'll be able to just put it into practice right away. So let's talk about the defensive aspect of it first. Now, people definitely already use this aspect already and have been in previous Monster Hunter games, but I do notice that sometimes people forget, maybe if they're fighting a monster that stresses them out, or maybe they're a little bit more afraid of this particular monster because they're more aggressive. Good example is Devil Joe. So, I'll notice people fighting Devil Joe and they'll get hit. And they want to heal because, nobody wants to be running around at half health. So they'll put their weapon away and they'll just start running and running and running. And a minute will pass and they still haven't had a chance to heal, and they're waiting for just like a really big chance to heal. They'll feel the need to maybe go into another area, but none of that is necessary. If you're ever still in the presence of the monster and you want to heal or just use any item, you just simply have to wait for it to create an opening with one of its own attacks, and you can just take that chance to go ahead and use your item, heal, and stuff along those lines, and I'll show you what I mean. So in this case, I've let myself get chunked by Devil Joe, and basically what you want to look for in this scenario is just kind of hang around the perimeter of the monster, and as soon as he starts the animation in another direction, you can go ahead and heal. So in this case, I just waited for Devil Joe to start his biting attack, and that's it. Once he starts it, he's stuck finishing it in that direction, and that gives you plenty of time to heal and get out of the flexing animation before the monster even turns around and realizes that it's completely missed. And different monsters will give you different chances to use items. For example, in this case, I just wait for Zhang to start picking up his rock, and I go ahead and heal and have plenty of time to move out of the way before he's ready to throw it. Another case with him is when he's using his beam. You can just position by his legs, and you have plenty of time to heal before he's even done firing his laser, and you can even get a small attack in or two. By now you guys have caught on that monsters, just like hunters, have to fully commit to their animations once they've begun an attack. So when we're trying to heal, we simply keep our eyes open for these moments, and once a monster has begun its attack animation in a direction that we are no longer standing, we can safely heal somewhere out of sight or behind the monster, and by the time the monster has finished its attack animation, we will have already healed, and we are now back at decent health to continue fighting the monster. The same tactic can be used when trying to activate a buff type hunter art that would otherwise leave you wide open for an attack. So when seeking a good opening to do this, just wait for the monster to once again start an attack animation of its own, and you can go ahead and activate your hunter art. By the time the monster is ready to attack again, you will have finished your hunter art animation and you're ready to keep fighting. This one here wasn't too well timed, but I got lucky that he didn't attack right away. Alright guys, next we're going to be covering the more offensive aspect of using monster movement against them. And this is going to be covering the read that you can do on a monster, which is very often used when you're hunting solo, when you're the monster's only target. And that's when you use the monster's act of it turning around for you to set up an attack on its head. Here's a quick example. So, let's talk about what we're doing here. So basically what you want to do is place yourself in a position behind or beside the monster and then wait for it to turn around. But while you're in that position, you begin a preemptive attack, and the monster will then turn right into the attack for you, which will result in really good damage to the face. Basically, the reason we're able to confidently do this is because since we're the only target for the monster, we know that it'll turn around and face us again after it's just finished an attack animation. This is why we can mainly take advantage of this and abuse it, really, when you're hunting solo offline. You can use this online, but it might be a little tricky because since there's more targets for the monster, it might not face you and it'll face somebody else, and then it's just running all over the place. Do keep in mind, however, that there are some monsters that can turn completely around in one fluid animation, like Zinogre here, who just turns around completely in one animation. But then there are monsters like Raytheon and Yangaruga, who turn around in 2 animations. Step, step. So yeah. Again, guys, these are just the basics, but eventually with practice you can discover more and more ways to predict and take advantage of a monster's movement patterns, and hopefully I can help you guys along the way. This is all part of learning and mastering a monster, which all hunters should do, and eventually you guys can kick it up a notch and discover more ways to kind of cheese a monster and learn its weak spots and like the points that it leaves itself wide open. But alright guys, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys liked the video. If it did help you, I might kind of follow up on it, adds a little bit more of how you can abuse monsters, more openings, but I might save that for when I make specific guides to specific monsters, and then in those videos for those specific monsters, maybe I'll talk more about those monsters' specific openings, when does it leave itself vulnerable, etc. Alright guys, I hope you like it. Don't forget, as always, like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.